Morning, morning, everybody. Michelle is here on the West Coast, east side of town. 11/15/2023 on a Wednesday. What? I'm feeling good, like I know I should. You know what I mean? I do need a haircut. I know that. So, hey, I'm still cute, so don't worry about all that, right? So I just finished having me a cup of coffee, and so that brings me a lot of joy to be able to drink coffee. I don't know what it is about coffee and tea. I think it's because it's so warm. It's warm and it goes in. It feels good. I don't know. But I've been drinking coffee for so long, since I was 12. I was introduced to drinking coffee by my next door neighbor when I was growing up, and it brought back a lot of memories. It brings back a lot of memories, I should say, because she was an older lady, and I used to run to her house for when I wanted to get away from my crazy house. So, when my mom would get into her panic mode and yelling and screaming, I would run out. I would do. It was just so nice to be able to get away from that. And so I used to go over to her house, and I started going to her house around, I think when I was 9 year old, until it started at 9 years old and up before she died. And it was just so nice to go to her house because there was just a peacefulness there, even though there was chaos. Her husband he was a predator. He was a predator, but it was not much he could do because his parts didn't work, if you understand what I mean. But anyway, but nonetheless, he was a predator. But anyway, when I would go over to her house, we would sit at the kitchen table, drinking coffee together. Imagine an adolescent and an adult sitting at the table talking to each other and talking about this, talking about that. And I used to see, I pay attention to eyes, and I think I said that many times before. I pay attention to someone's eyes, and and I pay attention to I get more information by watching how people are acting and behaving, not so much to what they're saying. So that's why a lot of people used to get upset with me, because they said, Michelle, are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? And I'm listening. Because sometimes I'll wander off, and and that's how I think. I'm listening to what you're saying to me, and I'm just attempting to put it together. Connect the dots or fill in the missing pieces. But we used to sit at the table drinking coffee together, and I used to look in her eyes. I could tell that she had a lot of love for me. Now, and it was a type of love, as if it was something a lot deeper than I can put in words. But at the same time, I can tell that she had some jealousy in her as well, if that makes sense. So in other words, because she didn't have any kids of her own. And I thought, what I thought between she and I is that we were friends. There was this deep love of friendship. So who knows whether it came from who knows? Like I said, because she was an older lady and I was a young adolescent. And it wasn't no creepy or that kind of creepy love. It was like genuine love. I can tell in her eyes that she genuinely loved me, and that but at the same time she had some jealousy, about certain things, and I never could figure it out. But anyway, so that's what drinking coffee does for me. It just brings back those kind of memories of, how you connect with people, and how you can genuinely have some love for someone, regardless of their age. Okay, regardless of their age, but it's appropriate, But we've become so degenerate and so extreme and so fanatical that we miss those kind of moments. Everything's turned into something deviant, unfortunately, and that's how I know that a lot of people may have during their childhood developed these kind of fantasies and delusions that may not have existed, but that's for each individual to contemplate, cultivate, properly meditate, and not ruminate. How about that? So in other words, you have to resolve things and find a common ground, so to speak, or a neutrality to your experiences as you have become an adult. Now, of course, as a young child, you're not going to be able to process what may have happened to you or what may not have happened to you. But as you become an adult, if you are, allowed that proper space, like I said, to contemplate and cultivate, what really actually happened to me, and see if you can do it from an impersonal stance. So that's what I do. I do things now as an adult when I consider my childhood. I do it from an impersonal. Okay, I take my personal feelings and emotions out of it as best I can and see if I can pick up. And so that's what I picked up. When I think about it, and when I think about her, she genuinely had some love for me. And it wasn't a mother-daughter type love. It was just like a friendship love. Even though I was like an adolescent and she was older and adult. But like I said, now that may be seen as inappropriate because of how we've degenerated, okay, and how we're becoming so deviant, and everything is so scrambled in confusion, and we just don't know what it is. We don't know what love is, and so it always becomes a fleeting moment for a lot of people, because a lot of people are not taking that time to really contemplate it and cultivate it. And I have, as others. That's why I know what it is, and you can't put it in words. But I can see it in someone's eyes, though, in most cases. But now that's even becoming fleeting as well, because so many people are becoming so manipulative and deceptive, and they know how to kind of, as they say, swing on the fence. They just know how to, pick up. They have these subtleties about themselves to where they can, masquerade, and pretend, and they have these fake personas. But, at some point, that's going to wear out. That's going to wear a person out. And they're going to be left naked, so to speak. They're going to be left with nothing. Okay, nothing to contemplate and cultivate, because they failed to do so and resolve things about what actually happened to me in my childhood, and being clear and effective, and most importantly, being honest, and admit to yourself, if you don't remember, I don't remember. Okay, and then ask yourself why. But it's not necessary that you keep going back. The reason why I'm saying that is that if you are in your present situation, you're present now, and you're grounded in your reality, and you're not happy about it, you have these anxieties about everything. Everything causes an anxiety in you. That would tell me that I have not worked out some issues. I haven't resolved things, and I'm not paying attention to the impulses I'm receiving from my subconscious. I'm not paying attention to the signs and the posts that are attempting to direct you to resolving things. So love is love. And so I know what it means to love someone. And I know what it means when someone that may be not related to me as a family member, I know when they love me. Okay, because like I said, I saw it in her eyes, and I haven't seen that in any other eyes, of a female, like an older female like that. And that's fine. I'm not looking for that. I'm just saying, as a young girl, I know a lot of people may consider certain things that happened to them in their childhood as abuse, and it may not have been. I remember when I put myself in counseling in my 20s, I remember discussing, that's why I say I had a great counselor, by the way. She didn't realize how great she was to me, how she helped open up a lot of things in me. But when I was explaining to her certain things that were happening to me, she says, no, that's normal. That's normal behavior. Unfortunately, that's how adolescents happen. That's how adolescents learn about sex. That's how adolescents learn about the difference between male and female. She was just giving me some what do you call it? Some advice, or some revelations about, what you think is abuse and what isn't abuse, and blah, 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 blah. So I'm kind of thankful that I managed to, and I think it's because I I have a dominant vision. I'm in a visionary type of modality where I'm paying attention to what I see, and then I cultivate it and based on what I incorporated it with what I hear, what I feel, and all the other sensing. I allow myself to kind of get a visual picture of what's going on in my life, and attempt to make sense of it. And that's what people that are auditories, intellectual, talking heads have to do, and people that are in their feelings. You have to figure out, what is the best expression of yourself that's going to help you to learn and figure out what is really going on, And so it's been a fun process for me. That's why I like abstract things, like my studio is abstract. I got all kind of colors everywhere. I got all kind of forms, and a lot of patterns going on, colors, like I said, forms. And then and so that's what happens with a lot of creative types as well. They have this dominance of whether it's vision and art and whatever, or in auditory, what they hear, the sounds and the tones. And I think the sounds and the tones are the most important because of the impact it can have to your innermost being. The sounds and tones and the melodies, and it brings a bit of a balance, and and it helps to hopefully establish some type of cohesiveness, some kind of harmony, So so I'm just sitting here. I got a lot of things to do. I'm getting ready to head out this morning on the West Coast, east side of town, handle my business. And I was just thinking about things, and thinking about some of the because I know a lot of people are dealing with some sadness in their lives, some disappointments, some some doubt. There's a lot of doubt in a lot of people. There's a lot of uncertainty, that I sense and receive. And those things can be natural if you understand that they need to be worked out. You don't want to have stuff lingering inside of you that you refuse to deal with. That energy of jealousy and envy is at a fever pace. And I said that a while ago. There's that jealousy and envy. I do not suspect anytime soon that that we can eradicate that. It's because it's in that encasement too, with the negativity. And so it's created an entity of its own, if that makes sense. In other words, because of that strong force collectively that created it, that force of negativity, that encasement of negativity, was a force that was collectively created. Okay, so it's just become a part of our existence. Is there as an encasement, and so jealousy and envy is there. Of course, self-hatred, sacrifice, all of that, that kind of, a lot of people call it negativity. Okay, yes, it is. It's an unresolved failure to neutralize encasement of energy, if that all makes sense. So it's gonna take a while for all that to go away, is my point. And so that's why those of you that are, that understand what I am attempting to do, you understand that, the most important thing is to work on yourself individually. Yeah, work on yourself individually, so that you can at least resolve your issues and your matters. Because at the end of the day, during final hours of your life, it's going to be just you there. Nobody's going to be there. You're not going to be able to take nobody with you. You're not going to be, nobody can, nobody's going to be necessarily waiting for you. And I know a lot of people get really upset about that, but I'm not going to say any more about that yet. It's you. The essence of you is there when you're dying. No one is there with it. You can have people around you, but you go through that process alone. So you need to get accustomed to that and understand. And it's the same thing about living. When you're living, you're doing that alone in your innermost being. You are an individual living being that has their responsibilities and their accountabilities. No matter what anybody else is telling you, you still have to work that out within you. And so I would not just keep putting things off thinking, okay, I'll worry about it tomorrow, or I'll deal with it, or lying to yourself that you are dealing with it when you know you're not. With all this manipulation and deception, which is happening all over the place. and I pay attention to things. I pay attention to what's going on the social media atmosphere, what goes on the internet, and what goes on in my environment. And I enjoy it. I don't see a problem with it per se. I know what I'm supposed to do, and I know what I'm not supposed to do. And I know what I can handle, and I know what I cannot handle. But as I was explaining about universal love does not mean that you interfere with people. Okay, that's one of the that's one thing that's where we're failing at. We feel like we need to just go in and tell people, this, and we're kind of like infringing on a lot of people and infringing on their paths. I know that I'm aligned with a particular path in my life. Okay, I know that. I did the work to figure that out on my own. And all of us have to do that. Now, it's nothing wrong. Hey, let people have their theories and opinions, but know how to let it flow off of you, too. You don't have to take it all in and be all upset unless it's physically harming you or physically harming someone that you love, But let people, the fake from the real will be separated. Because like I said, we're at a culmination point. We're heading towards culmination of a certain reality of our existence, which is cosmic. It's a cosmic event. So a lot of people say, well, what does that mean? And these, you have a lot of people who are demanding to see something physically. And in most cases, it's not physical. It's something spiritual, which is energy, invisible energy. But a lot of people cannot accept that. They cannot accept less, if I can't see it, it's not real. Okay. All right. What are you going to do with that? Not a thing. Love, can you see love? So you can see people in the act of it, possibly, or you feel it. In my family and in my household, it's something that I can't explain, but it went within my innermost being. In other words, I knew it was something. I knew my parents loved me, but by their act of love. I knew they loved each other by their act of love. And I knew my neighbor, even though she was an older lady, I knew she loved me. There was love that she was admitting towards me. And it wasn't no creepy love. It wasn't no deviancy. It wasn't no degeneracy. I knew it was pure love, And so, and it used to be fun. I used to laugh at her because, because she was a feminine woman. And, a lot of feminine women are into their emotions sometimes, and their feelings and emotions. And I guess she felt like I should have been acting that way as well. But she didn't understand I was a tomboy, and I thought I was a little boy. In other words, my energy wasn't girly. I wasn't girly at all. So I don't remember just crying for no reason. Not that I didn't cry, but I had a reason to cry. If I hurt myself, I might cry. If I felt, if I was immersed in my feelings and emotions, but that was very rare. And so, like I said, I had to work on how to neutralize that properly so that I didn't give the impression that I was inconsiderate of others and their feelings and emotions. So I just wanted to share that this morning. Getting ready to head on out. It's a little bit overcast out there. And people do have on their sweaters and coats, so it might be a little cool. I always plan accordingly, enjoy my moment. And like I said, I want to send peace and love all over the stars and moon and the mountains. And remember, if I say I love you, okay? And if I say I am attempting to spread universal love, trust me, I am attempting to spread universal love. And I hope everyone can feel me, see me, and hear me. Peace and love, and trust me, I'll be back.